trả thù cho đồng bào thủ đô. Vâng.
Dear friends and loved ones of the Vietnamese people, in the American Drum Resistance War of the Vietnamese people, the story of the hero of the Vietnam People's Army, of the Vietnamese people. It was Mr. Nguyen Viet Xuan who went down in history as a legend of the brave spirit of resolute fighting, for the cause of the struggle for the liberation of the Vietnamese people. Heroic Martyr Nguyen Viet Xuan was born on January 20th, 1933 in Thuong hamlet, Ngu Kien commune, Vinh Tuong district, Vinh Phuc province. He enlisted in the army in 1952. He was born into a poor peasant family. His parents were poor farmers, honest and simple. Growing up, when his homeland Vietnam was still full of enemies, he recorded his name in the register to join the army, fight the enemy and enlist on November 5, 1952. From a scout soldier in C3 Division 99, People's Army of Vietnam, he was promoted to the military rank, so he came to the position, squad leader of the reconnaissance squad, anti-aircraft artillery platoon leader, deputy political officer. Anti-aircraft artillery company, in any position, Mr. Nguyen Viet Xuan also upheld his determination to fight foreign invaders, defend the fatherland and lead by example in movements to fight against the French and American enemies. In the war against the French colonialists invading Vietnam, he and his comrades bravely fought directly with the enemy air force in Lung Lo and was admitted to the Communist Party of Vietnam on January 5, 1955 at the battlefield. Dien Bien Phu. During the strategic war against the US imperialists, in the role of party secretary and political officer of anti-aircraft artillery company, Mr. Nguyen Viet Xuan set a bright example of the spirit of resolutely attacking the enemy. In the battle with the enemy air force on November 18, 1964 in the western province of Quang Binh, Vietnam, he led the unit to fight back fiercely and despite the danger, went to the artillery batteries to restore combat strength. With the mettle of a brave commander, he was seriously wounded and died heroically. His loud shout, "Aim at the enemy, shoot," resounded on the battlefield of anti-aircraft artillery to drive away the B-52 aircraft of the American enemy. Has become the slogan to encourage the fighting spirit of the whole unit and throughout the battlefields against the US, and along with many brave and heroic examples, has written on the golden page of history, becoming a symbol of the tradition of love. Country, the hero of Vietnamese youth. Recognizing those feats, the party, state and Vietnam People's Army awarded him many noble awards, and on January 1, 1967, he was posthumously awarded by the Communist Party of Vietnam and the state of Vietnam. Title Hero of the People's Armed Forces. Hello dear friends. The story of the hero Nguyen Viet Xuan with the slogan, "Aim at the enemy, shoot," has gone down in history as a legend of the brave spirit, resolutely fighting for the cause of the struggle for national liberation. That saying encouraged the spirit of how many soldiers on the battlefield were empty of the American enemy, later became the slogan in the Air Defense Forces, the Air Force of the Vietnam People's Army, during the resistance war against the US.
Hello dear friends. During the Dien Bien Phu campaign, he fought bravely with his comrades, not afraid to sacrifice hardships, contributing to the overall victory of the campaign. In 1964, the US imperialists opened a war of sabotage by air force to the north. Nguyen Viet Xuan, as a party secretary, a political officer of the anti-aircraft artillery company, the Vietnam People's Army, Mr. set a shining example of the spirit of resolutely attacking and destroying the enemy. And the story about him, about the symbol of revolutionary heroism, took place in the enemy battle on November 18, 1964. In this battle, the US Army mobilized many groups of B-52 and F-10 aircraft. Dropping bombs and firing rockets fiercely destroyed the Cha Lo area in the western part of Quang Binh province, Vietnam. Right in the first phase of the attack by modern aircraft of the US Army, 3 F-100 aircraft of the US Army suddenly rushed into the battlefield of Nguyen Viet Xuan Company. The first round of bullets from the 3rd Battery took the lead. The US military aircraft changed its direction of attack and focused on bombing the 3rd Battery of Nguyen Viet Xuan. The whole battlefield opened fire. An aircraft in the US Army's F-100 group was shot and kept on fire in the sky over Quang Binh province, but another launched a series of missiles towards Battery 3, injuring Mr. Nguyen Viet Xuan seriously. Despite the danger, Nguyen Viet Xuan rushed out of the fortifications, stood next to the 3rd Anti-Aircraft Artillery Battery, poisely showed his mettle and shouted, "Attack the enemy, shoot. Shoot." In the midst of enemy bombs and bullets, his loud shout resounded on the battlefield, became a slogan to encourage the fighting spirit of the whole unit and throughout the battlefields to fight the US Army. The battle had just ended. He went around the batteries to grasp the situation of soldiers' mobilization, but the US Army aircraft suddenly dropped a series of bombs on the battlefield. He was seriously injured, broke his thigh on the right, but Nguyen Viet Xuan asked the nurse to cut the meat attached to the leg to avoid entanglement. He said, "I'm fine," and told the nurse not to tell anyone. He was still awake to watch the battle, promptly praising the soldiers he scored. After the fierce battle, he felt that he could not survive, so he appointed a replacement to command the battlefield, assigned to take care of his wounded comrades, hand over the work meticulously, clearly and carefully. The implementation of the resolution of the party cell and made a number of proposals on the development of the party, the union and commendation in the unit. The slogan, "Aim at the enemy, shoot," by Nguyen Viet Xuan has become the slogan of the attack on the anti-aircraft artillery positions of the Vietnamese People's Army during the resistance war against the American invaders. When he died, he was a second lieutenant in the Vietnam People's Army, a politician from the 3rd Company, 14th Battalion, Anti-Aircraft Artillery, 325th Division, IV Military Region, member of the Communist Party of Vietnam. He was posthumously awarded the title Hero of the People's Armed Forces, January 1, 1967, along with many other medals and certificates of merit. More than 40 years have passed since the day Vietnam was completely independent. The country's mountains and rivers have collected a term. The pain of war has receded into the past. But the names of his fathers like Nguyen Viet Xuan and millions of other people are still mentioned as an eternal epic. The people who knew that when they left, they would have broken bones, crushed flesh, sacrificed, but still, do not lose heart, do not regret the Green Age, to fight for the noble ideal that is to gain independence for the people. Vietnamese heroes. Hi-O Fine Art Furniture Company Vinh Phuc. Thank you for listening to watching and sharing our video.